Welcome to Smithy's Chainsaw Shop. This video has been probably recorded about 3 times across 4 different days. I'm now editing the second video now, but now I'm recording the first video because I have to post. Anyway, it's a long story. The story is of Smithy's Wonderful Chainsaw Shop is I bought all these saws for $300. I had a 1985 Hilux sitting behind me and some guy in Canberra wanted it. I asked him if he had any chainsaws. He said no, but he offered to pick anything up that was in the area. I found this, bumped the guy down from 1500 to 300. There was 2 saws missing that I really wanted, but I got all these, which I'm extremely happy about. Yeah, and we basically did a trade and I flicked him 300 cash. So he wanted my Hilux, I was giving it to him for $1,000, and the chainsaws were $1,300. And now I've got 24 chainsaws sitting in the shed, all ready to be rebuilt. I'm just going to be showing you the process because it's not that hard. A lot of people think it's really hard and really overwhelming, but once you just get past the fundamentals of everything just flows, and yeah, it's a really enjoyable experience. But I'll be showcasing each saw. I've already finished 2, which I'm extremely excited about. I finished one yesterday and the other one the day before. Alright, so this is the 570. I just finished a top end rebuild on that. I'm gonna finish the editing for that video once I finish this one. But this had a couple issues that we managed to narrow down and get rid of. So the first issue was it didn't want to turn off. Oh, well, the main reason for it not wanting to turn off is the faulty wire. It had a little slither. I'll see if I can find it. Basically, on the killer wire, there is this tiny scuff here. Yeah, didn't want to turn off, so I had a lot of trouble starting it. Had to drop start it like a Harley. Tuned terribly, so we tuned that up. Runs mint now, but yeah, like I said, I've got a whole video showing this and the next saw I'm about to show. Great saws. Sadly, I'm getting rid of them because they're going to fund the rest of the saws. But yeah, the 570, fresh top end rebuild. Alright, next up is the 365 Special. I really do like this saw. This is a saw that I'm keeping personally. This also had a top end rebuild, OEM, piston, ring and cylinder. Did a base gasket delete and I set the squish to about 18 thou. Sadly I didn't record the video to me building this one. You can kind of get the gist with the 570 that I built. Yeah, I got plans in the future to port this. I use these saws for work, so each got their own place. We could be potentially looking at putting a 372 jug on the 365 chassis and porting that. There's tons of different stuff that you can do to these saws. Yeah, the Huskies, you can do quite a lot of things to make very cool, sporty builds. But yeah, that's the 365. Alright, so this is my first ever saw that I bought, which was a parts saw. It was a 200T parts saw. No introduction to this saw needed. This is one of the highest ranking saws in the arboriculture industry. Power to weight ratio. Bought new plastics, rebuilt the whole thing. I now found out that I just need a carb replacement, which I've just ordered. I'll show a video on that. They're really simple things really, but yeah, this one's been decked out. It's got a West Coast muffler pipe on it. It's custom dyed by me. I'm super happy with this, but yeah, I gotta let this one go because I do have a 201 that I do love using. Alright, this is the 201. Complete stock, reliable work saw. You can't really go wrong with these. I've built a custom pipe. I've built a custom pipe for it and this thing absolutely screams. I'm sure I'll show it later down the track. I'll show this saw working, but the only thing is I would like a carbureted version. I'm not too much of a fan of the M-Tronic. Other than the M-Tronic, they're a wicked saw. I would prefer a carbureted version, but it's good for work, and yeah. Okay, so here we've got a 576 and a 550. I will be rebuilding this shortly and using this for work. We're going to be making a stock build. With the carbureted saws, you can actually do a lot more in terms of working on them. These are a bit touchy, so it's just really best to leave them stock if you're... Yeah, the 5.62. This is also going to need a complete rebuild. I'm probably going to be selling this one because it just doesn't fit. Only because I've got a 5.75 and a 3.65 and a 2.66. So this doesn't really fill any gaps like those saws do. I prefer to use those because they're a little bit lighter. This is a little bit heavier. Not to say these aren't a good work saw, they're a great saw. Okay, we got a 266 SE and a 6.1 Rancher. Now, these are the same platform. These 6.1s are a smaller bore. In terms of plans of what I have to do with these saws, I do have a custom pipe that I've made for the 6.6 that I put on the Rancher. It's a pretty good sounding pipe. It does work, but it was meant for this. Sadly, this one blew up because the air filter had a hole in it and it sucked up a bunch of sawdust and got all in the parts where you don't want it to go. So this one needs a top end rebuild. The bottom end I managed to save. Yeah, there's a couple things that we're going to be doing to this. We've got a 272 XP jug that we're going to be putting on this once I hone that. That'll probably be the third video, is honing all the jugs. But I'm going to be using the parts from this 6.1 and putting it back onto the 266 and selling the 6.1 as a part saw. Okay, we got a 5.75 and a 5.76. Now, this is an auto tune and this is a carbureted version. They are both the same platforms, I do believe. No, they're not. So the 5.76 is slightly more powerful. Transfers are a bit different, but this is an auto tune saw. Yeah, I don't really like auto tune, so I will be rebuilding and selling this. I'll have a whole video soon on rebuilding this. This is coming up shortly. The 5.75 is one that we're keeping. It's a carbureted version. It's pretty much like the 570, only I think they're slightly bigger bores than the 570, but this one has a big bore kit, so they will generally, I think that they'll run the same. This will be coming later though, because I'm trying to finish all the saws that I'm not going to be running to fund the saws that I will be running. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these saws. They seem kind of healthy. I don't know if you can see from the front end, but they are extremely dirty. But from the 570 build, the bottom ends are pretty sweet. I've opened my eyes to these 500 models. I've never really tested them or used them, but I do see the appeal and I really do like them. Alright, last but not least, I gotta finish this video quickly because my battery's dying. But this is a Stihl MS261. I'm rebuilding this saw, keeping it completely stock. I've got another one sitting in the corner over there. But yeah, I'll just do a complete rest of the build. I'll show you guys in another video of me assembling this. But yeah, I'll keep this one stock. I've replaced pretty much everything. Seals, bearings. Yeah, these aren't really something that I need to keep because I've got the 550 that pretty much replaces these. Not to say they're a bad saw, I just do prefer the 550 or Huskies in general because they're a bit more sportier builds, because you've got quad transfers and a lot more cooler features than the good old Stihl. Stihls are more considered like a tractor to me. They'll get you from A to B, they'll do the job. They're just a good tractor. They last forever. Typically the Huskies, they run a bit shorter. You know, blokes run them with dull trains and super lean tunes on them, so they'll absolutely scream and just blow the top end out, which is what I have seen on all these top ends that are, all the ones that aren't working, that's what I've seen on the pistons. But yeah, just mix it up guys, there's nothing wrong with running both. But yeah, that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was just a really short, brief video of just me showing you guys all the saws. Oh, on a quick note, all these saws down the bottom, some of them are working, some of them aren't, but they are also what are going to be funding the top. I'm thinking about keeping some and doing a rebuild video on some, but some of them aren't really worth my time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a really brief rundown of just what's happening or what's happening in the future. I've got 3 more videos that I'm currently filming right now, so enjoy the information and the knowledge giving. I'm all for it, so I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something, and see you guys in the next one.